Hi everyone, it's Rebecca with our in-house geologist here, Brittany. We are gonna have a fun little competition, or not even competition, just like guessing game. We have some rare faceted gems in our collection that you really don't see very much on the market. And so we are going to try to stump each other with some of these gems. It'll be fun. Okay, so each of these has a clue. Here's the first one.
Oh, thank you. How kind. Discovered in the 21st century.
And that's the clue.
All right. It's not like there are many that were discovered in the 21st century. I've got a very light pink, ever so slightly purple gem. I see some internal fractures, I think. You know, pretty vitreous.
And this stone is commonly fractured. It's a type 3 gemstone. So it often has inclusions. You should expect inclusions.
Really drawing a blank here, and I might have to concede as to what this might be.
Well, I think that's going to happen a lot this episode because these are rare faceted gems. So that's very understandable. Inside the box, it says what it is.
Oh, delightful. Oh, all right. Okay, so this was Pezzottaite. What I know about Pezzottaite is that not quite in the beryl family, but it is very associated with the beryl family. I believe they have a different crystal system ever so slightly. I think it's like trigonal compared to what, hexagonal?
Hexagonal.
Yeah.
So it's obviously a beautiful, gemmy, pinkish purple. It is in the triclinic system. It is a hardness of 8, so it's pretty durable, except for the fact that it does often come with many fractures. This has lithium in it, it has cesium in it. Beryl is a beryllium aluminum silicate. It's colored by manganese, which often gives like a red, pinky, purple color. You're not gonna often find it in faceted form. Found in the early 21st century by an Italian named Federico Pezzotta, and it was officially named Pezzottaite in 2003. People thought that Madagascar was the only locality, which it was at that point. There are a few other places where you can now find Pezzottaite. So even in small carat weights, those can go for a really high dollar amount.
All right, so now that I've done one, I think it's time for you to do one.
Fun.
Now.
I love it.
Here's your clue.
Okay. One of the most dense gem materials. Okay, that's fun. I'm going to put it in my hand then. Oh, so a high heft. Heft is essentially like the weight that it feels in your hand. This carries some weight in the palm. It's obviously a colorless gemstone, although maybe there are hints of light blue. There's a good amount of dispersion, and not crazy amount. Gems are rarely faceted because of their durability, because it's difficult. I kind of want to be careful because I don't know if it has a low hardness or is particularly fragile.
As a small clue, and just for the safety of the stone, it does have a very low hardness of like 2.5 to 3.
Okay, so I'm gonna just take it out of the tweezers. My priorities when studying gems weren't SG. So in terms of like knowing the most dense gem material, I don't know that, so I'm excited to learn.
All right, here is the box.
Alrighty. Yep, wasn't gonna guess that one. Anglicite. Oh, that is a cool gem. Look at that color zoning. This looks like maybe orthorhombic or monoclinic.
It is orthorhombic.
Okay.
That's correct.
So I get why that's rare as a faceted gem. So 2.5 to 3 on the most scale. So that must be super difficult for the lapidary to cut.
And it was discovered in 1783 by William Withering, particularly in a mine on an island known as Anglicite, for which it was named after. It also has, I think, pretty good cleavage. So like, it's very hard to facet a piece of Anglicite. Anglicite has pretty much the same exact dispersion rate as diamond. It is also just a really, really cool gemstone.
I love that. You want to see another one?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
And that is very pretty. Virtually every faceted stone over 1 carat comes from a single mine. Okay. Well,
honestly, that's not going to help you that much.
No. That is beautiful.
It's so pretty.
But I could already tell that this bad boy has high luster. It's a very clean stone first, what I can see.
It's idiochromatic.
Oh, okay.
Meaning its color derives from its base chemical composition. All right, so it's a rare stone, so I'm gonna help you out a bit and show you.
I'm kind of excited because, wow, that's beautiful. So this is cuprite. From cuprite that I have seen, it looks a lot like this. Very, very thin, very, very frail, and usually not that large.
Cuprite coming from the Latin copper, cupris for copper. So you often have that coppery orangey kind of color in cuprite mineral specimens, which is one reason why that red is super rare. So it's a copper oxide. This fibrous form is often referred to as chalcotrichite, and so it is slightly different. So it's about 3.5 on the Mohs scale of hardness, so it's not hard.
Without knowing anything about these two beforehand, I would have not said that these were the same.
Yeah, same.
All.
So you have that very high sub-adamantine metallic luster going on there. It just makes that stone pop. This is a very nice, valuable collector's gemstone. In fact, it has been called one of the most spectacular faceted gems in existence. So this was found in Namibia. It, again, per the clue, virtually every faceted stone over a carat comes from its original locality in Namibia. It is 12.22 carats. So that's a significant size for a faceted cuprite gemstone. So this actually, as gemstones go, is a relatively recent discovery. It was found in the 1970s in Namibia, and that deposit is virtually mined out. So you really can't get any more cuprite gems from there.
Wow, for the rarity of this gemstone and the fact that I'm holding it is just really super cool because I never would have thought that cuprite could be this large as well as just even faceted because I always thought it was that. I think it's time for another gemstone for you.
Love it. Named for one of our favorite gem hotspots. This is like, I think I would call it yellowish green. Some might call it greenish yellow. When I think of gem hotspots, I think of Brazil. I think there's a rare gem called Brazilianite. Colombia, Madagascar, Sri Lanka, India, Burma. The first two things that come to my mind, it could be mistaken for heliodor or yellow beryl, or it could be mistaken for demantoid garnet, or potentially peridot. Because when I first saw it, I thought green, but in some it looks yellow. Yeah, I don't know, Brittany. I think I'm gonna concede.
You'll be delighted to know what the name of this is for what you said earlier.
Nice. That was a wild guess.
I was actually kind of surprised.
So this is Brazilianite. This is awesome. That is such a cool specimen. I'm guessing found in Brazil.
It can be colorless, but more often than not, it's a wide range of yellows and greens. This is a monoclinic mineral. It was initially found in 1944, but originally thought as a crystal beryl.
I mean, one of the first things that came to my mind was the luster. It has a really nice, high, bright vitreous finish, and the crystal form is so pretty. This is a very cool specimen.
Compared to the mineral specimen to the faceted gem, it's a little surprising for how clean the gem is because it's commonly found with a lot of internal fractures, which this particular gem, it either doesn't have any or it's like very, very small. You have to be a little careful with Brazilianite. If it's exposed to higher heats, it can lose all of its color. No amount of irradiation is going to bring its color back. So once it's gone, it's gone.
Very pretty. I love that. Let's try your hand at it again, Brittany.
That sounds good. It has a high hardness, but a special weakness. Well, it is large. There's like no dispersion whatsoever. It's not like crystal clean of the word. It's kind of ever so slightly blurry in a way, but like a clean blurry. I think we're gonna have to ask for another clue.
It's very highly birefringent, but it has a very low SG for such a highly birefringent stone.
I might have to concede and see what's inside the box. So this is hamburgite.
Named after a Swedish mineralogist with the last name Hamburg. It's in the orthorhombic crystal system. It actually has a decent hardness, it's about a 7.5, but it has perfect cleavage. And so that obviously makes it very difficult to facet. It looks like rock crystal or colorless quartz, and it has a similar hardness, but it is much less durable.
Just looking at the crystal itself, I mean, it's a lot different as far as shape goes compared to quartz.
So it's a beryllium borate, which again, having beryllium in a gemstone is actually relatively rare because of the conditions under which beryllium interact with other elements or interacts with other elements. So that's another element that makes it interesting.
That's pretty cool. You think it's time for your turn to guess?
Yes.
One final time.
One final time.
The last gemstone of the episode.
Oh, pretty. Okay, so it's first found in Finland. I actually really love this color. It has like a yellowish, greenish, brownish kind of color. It has hints of orange. Finland, not a ton of gems come from there, but actually more than you would think for the size of the country. It looks clean upon first glance, but I actually think it has like somewhat of maybe a milky, cloudy interior, but I have not a clue what this is. So you're gonna need to help me out with this one.
I think it might be just best to show you what it could be.
Perfect. Pargasite, and also, look at that. Look how different it is.
This is very
so
different.
I'm guessing that it's an allochromatic gemstone. It can be green or brown. Look at that green, that bright, vibrant green.
This is its most collectible form, just for how beautiful that it is. So if you don't find Pargasite on marble, you can also find it in granite. A lot of the times that you'll find Pargasite, it's either kind of like in fragmented shards or like granular bits just kind of cohesed together. You can see here how included this is, not particularly transparent, and of course the screen. Okay, that was super fun. We stumped each other a little bit. We're curious to hear, were you stumped? Did you know any of these? We have one more. We don't have a mineral specimen form of it, but we have it in faceted and cabochon form. We're not trying to stump each other, but we did a little bit of an experiment with it, and so I'll show you guys that. Okay, so we have a gem called Hackmanite. It possesses a really cool property called tenebrescence. So tenebrescence is when exposed to light, it actually changes color. All right, so these do fluoresce quite strongly. So we'll see. Let's see, Brittany. Yeah. Oh, look at that bright orange. Wow.
I love that here. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Oh, how fun. Okay, so fluorescence is the visible emission of light when exposed to a higher form of energy, like fluorescent light.
It's gotten a lot like a darker purple for both of them after being exposed to the light.
Yeah, so light excitation can cause different effects in different gemstones. Tenebrescent gemstones, which is just increased exposure at a higher energy level that changes the hue. And in this case, the cabochon has gotten increasingly purple. So before it was like a nice pretty pink that it fluoresced, and now it's a good purple.
So Hackmanite is a sulfur-rich variety of sodalite.
First discovered in Greenland, but it wasn't until 1991 that the first gem quality deposits were found in Canada. And a very cool collector's gem. All right, Brittany, of course it's time to take a closer look. What's your choice?
Oh boy, you're putting me on the spot real quick. I might have to go with the cuprite because, I mean, it's so exceptional in its rarity, the size, and its color.
So my two that I'm kind of choosing between are Hackmanite, because I love that fluorescence. That's so fun.
Nice.
And the tenebrescence is fun too. But I also really love the Brazilianite mineral specimen, which I know this episode is about rare faceted gems. But the mineral specimen I think is so pretty. It's so aesthetically pleasing. And you should take a closer look at both of these. All right, that was super fun, Brittany. I love learning new things. There are always interesting facts to learn with gemstones. I'm curious if you were stumped, because we definitely were. So let us know in the comments.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on future episodes.
See you later.